The castle-style turret is one of our favorite features of our old watermill, and in this episode, you'll see how we overcome heavy rains and the largest power outage in European history as we restore the neglected ceiling of our future luxuriously high bathroom to its original splendor.
That's a long ways down. It's a big bathroom. Tallest bathroom in Portugal.
We're Brittany and Drew, two hopeful adventurers who got married and after 8 years of van life, found our dream property and moved across the globe to Portugal, where we're now documenting the journey of transforming this historic watermill into our very first home, not on wheels. Now, let's take in a deep breath and let it out. Let the adventure begin.
Whoop, whoop. All right, we're gonna move up the entire dresser pieces upstairs, go for a Mario. And we're gonna take this big cabinetry piece that's been sitting in the theater room, and we're gonna see if we can fit it through the frame here of the arch and up the stairs, all the way up to what's gonna be a very questionable path and corridor to get through, so that we can get it here into the second bedroom. There it is. Whoop, incoming. Nice and easy. Yeah. That's a nice fit. We're gonna save the rest of that project for probably weeks from now. We're gonna start on sanding the roof in the bathroom, which means that we have to get the scaffolding from downstairs, get it reassembled, and hopefully we can get high enough for that big ceiling in the bathroom. Priority number one is make sure the scaffolding is secure. So we've broken out a couple tie downs to see if we can just snug things up and make sure that we're not wobbling too much when we're way up in the air here. Hiya! Here goes, I'm gonna climb up it.
Electricity.
I feel like I'm in the lookout tower. That's a long drop down. Pretty surfy feeling.
Let's go surfing now. Everybody's learning how. Come on, it's a fire.
You want to come catch a wave with me? Toss it around. All right. We got the power. Little look at what we're going to try to sand up. Really work on trying to get the discoloration out of here. Clean this all up.
This you can forget.
Yeah. You look so little down there. Wow, it just started hailing out.
Notice the makeshift roof over top of the forno de pedra, or the old stone oven outside the mill.
It's time to address a big issue around here. So many of you guys commented after seeing how damp our lower bathroom is behind our old antique oven here. We need to address that moisture before possibly putting any finishing flooring down. So what we've come to realize with the help of you guys in the comments, along with talking to my dad and his buddy Jeff, who live down in Florida, who've worked with drainage and keeping water away from their homes, the best solution to start with is to put a tarp down everywhere in front of the entrance here, because what's happening below the turret here, up there, is that water's falling and it's basically entering the soil here and getting trapped up along the pathway here, because this is all open right now. We have the electrical cables and telecommunication wires running through here, and the water's just going right in there and going down into our lower bathroom through the walls. And as a temporary fix, we're going to take a tarp here and we're going to put it like a big capture. But what we want to do is get it away from this area, away from the house, and have it channeled next to the oven, going back towards the stream, towards our pump box down here in the channel that we created with Nelson a long time ago, filled with granite stone. And the tubes, there's actually 2 French drains in this area too. So I think if we keep all this uphill moisture away from the house using this tarp temporarily, then start the oven when we're ready to, that will really combat to temporarily see if this fixes the damp, the wet issue in that room. Later on, of course, we'll seal and do other things, but this at least lets us know if we keep the water out of here, we've got a solution. Oh, sorry. I'll try not to get you wet. All right, guys, here comes the real rain. But we simulated it. Seems to be working just like we wanted the flow of the water to go. And let's see if this hypothesis works. Check back with you in a few days. All right, so the sky just started unleashing. And you can see our tarp system is working really well. We also put one of the steel panels over here to direct the water that way. And as you can see, imagine all this pooling going down in here, going in what would be the wall of the bathroom. So I just want to show you. I mean, look, that's a straight up stream right there. Like, there's so much water coming down. And especially down there, like, look at all that water.
Some people have suggested, why not just remove the oven completely? But the thing is, it is literally built into the stones of our home. And our home is a historic water mill where people used to come and have their grain or corn milled into flour. And then this oven was used to bake it into breads. And just to remove it without trying to fight for a solution just doesn't seem right to us. So we'll see what happens, but it's at least worth trying.
So much water flooding down there. Oh, how I would love to harness the energy of that water one day. One day, guys. One day we might have to build a little micro generator. Go check on how Brittany's doing after that. Looks like everything got soaked under the shade structure. Even got a big pool of water in front of the container back there. Hey, ladies. How'd you manage during that rainstorm?
I was just filming the crazy lentil soup chocolate milk lagoon.
It's insane, like over here by the lagoon and back behind the mill right now.
Crazy.
Oh, just like the sky opened up and...
I know. I was like, are all the kitties in here? And they were all taken back. So don't worry.
That's good.
They're very smart.
I'm glad you were all right too.
Yeah, that was intense.
That was super intense.
Came out of nowhere.
It's supposed to rain a bit more today, but last night there was a huge storm that rolled through. We'll show you the radar right now.
Look at that waterfall right there.
I know, like,
Wow.
yeah, water lines just coming out of the mountain. I see a whole nother waterfall down there in the lower rock section.
Ooh. Water wonderland.
Navigating the rough seas of the mountain.
What a doors.
Such a wild weather day. Just send the bucket up with all the tools.
feels good.
Yeah, it feels way sturdier.
Alright. Got it.
Nice. Got the sander. Picked up this new bad boy. Figured it'd be nice to be able to get in there rather than using the orbital style sander. But we're gonna try a couple different things. See our orbital right here. And Mario's gonna try out the battery powered oscillator. Ah, you were so smart, you brought the extra sand thing. We're gonna start with the rough sandpaper, 60-40 grit, and then we're gonna move our way around and come back through later and smooth it up a little bit, but not too smooth because we wanna apply some oil or some paint, so we're gonna leave it a little bit rougher than if it was like a finished countertop. You can really see how good the stripped wood looks compared to, say for example, one that's not stripped. See the big difference there? And there's also the backside over here too. There's no quick and speedy way around this. Just gotta keep our hands in the air and the power on.
Speaking of keeping the power on, ironically enough, right now during the editing of this episode, we are experiencing a massive power outage here in Europe. It started in Spain and it is affecting Portugal and parts of France.
Breaking news right now overseas where a massive power outage is crippling large parts of Spain and Portugal. Traffic lights are out, businesses are in the dark, public transportation at a standstill, while crews race to fix the issue that is now impacting a large area all the way from Lisbon to Madrid.
I think there's disbelief, there's confusion. It's going to take 6 to 10 hours to get the power restored in some places in Spain, but full normalization, officials say, up to a week.
So luckily enough, we have Bluetti as the sponsor of today's episode, who not only keeps us going on projects inside of the mill because we still have yet to have power plugs that we can use for our various projects, but also here in our camper and in our workshop container, Bluetti's solar power generators have helped make all of our dream projects come true. Drew has been trying to get our internet hooked back up, so let's see what he's up to in the container. I also want to say what a stellar job they're doing on sanding that turret. I see he's already got our 2 foldable solar panels out, perfectly positioned to be absorbing all of the sun's energy, and all of that goodness is plugged right into our AC 500.
So I just got that connected up to the battery packs. Each battery is 3,000 watt hours for a total of, I think, 12,800 watt hours, something like that.
And I think it's expandable up to 6 batteries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
300s.
Wow. It's in situations like this where having a solar powered generator not only makes off-grid life so much better, so much more comfortable and possible, but in the case of natural disasters or rolling blackouts, this is something that is totally out of our hands. It just is such a convenience and such a comfort to know that we have Bluetti. No matter what happens, we can have green energy to help power our lives. Quick power outage update. It is now 9 p.m. and it has been about 12 hours since the entire country of Spain, the entire country of Portugal, all of the Iberian Peninsula have been without power. We've been asking our neighbors if they're okay, and they seem to be okay. I mean, it's the first night. Hopefully, it's the only night. Drew just got off a Zoom call that he had scheduled for this evening, but wanted to show you where our power's at. How is this still at 100%? I'm so confused.
Because I have it charging off the bigger system that was charged earlier by the double panels laying on the floor out there.
Oh, okay. Well,
The power that keeps on giving.
amazing. I was trying to show how much power we used up in half a day, but
We have the Starlink running right now.
you're too efficient.
The lights in here, the camper's charging, your laptop's charging.
I feel a little bit of survivor's guilt or whatever they call it, but
I feel like we're just prepared.
that's right.
So don't be left out.
It's really in moments like this where you become so grateful for the little comforts. Like, we don't have to be inconvenienced at all, and that is so nice.
So nice.
So check out our link below, and hopefully Bluetti doesn't need to power us up for 8 days, but if we need it to, it could. It really could. It could actually power up your entire house for days. So check that out, because it feels really good to have it when you need it.
When you talk about just waiting a week to get everything back to normal, do we have any sense yet, though, of what caused all this initially?
Top European officials, as well as the Portuguese Prime Minister, said that at this early stage, they do not believe a cyber attack was behind this. But Portuguese grid officials have said, and bear with me here for a very technical explanation, that this was caused by a rare atmospheric phenomenon that, due to extreme temperature variations, there were, quote, anomalous oscillations in a very high voltage lines.
I don't think
that is
Essentially,
a bunch
there was
of
a very complex
stories from the
effect that
farm.
knocked out power in
It's
what
not
is
oddly
an
temperaturally
interconnected power
different.
network throughout Europe.
It was a very
All right,
perfect
Danielle, I'm managing
72
towards
degree
there.
day.
Danielle, thank you.
all the best editing is done with a sweet little kitty in your lap. Makes editing for you guys even more fun. I can't complain. I just want to show you how clear and beautiful the water is now that it's not raining. Is that your spot? Hi, baby. Hi, girl. Hi. You wanna jump? Come on. Here he is. Good boy. Good boy, kitty. Got you. Tag. Good kitties. These are good kitties. Hi. You love you. Good boy. Good boy.
How you feeling today, Mario?
Super fun.
It's a little sore, right? The arms from like holding up for hours and hours.
Yeah, with the shoulders and everything. So,
But you're a strong guy.
nah.
Today we're gonna do it for another 6 hours.
Yeah.
Let's get at this. You can really see the color change that started to form. Like, it looks really good. We got half of it done. We realized we couldn't get to the center of the ceiling because our tools and the heads of the sanders, the drill just wouldn't fit up there. Mario had this great idea. Take the bit from the oscillator tool and add some tape and a sanding pad to it so we can fit it like really in those tight nooks and crannies. as well as I was able to get to the store yesterday and buy one of these majiggers, these sander tips that fit on the drill so we can get in those really tight places. So we're gonna give it a shot and hopefully we can continue on this half of the dome and then move to the other side once we reposition the scaffolding. So let's get at it. Hoo-yah! One bucket. Incoming. Welcome aboard. Choo choo. The train has started. Departing. Yeah, which location you want to go today? You want to go to Dusty Town? We just decided it's better to open another window. Keep the air flowing. We're both really feeling it up here. The arms, the necks, the eyeballs,
The nose.
yeah.
The ears.
Gotta stretch it out a little. We're getting there. Look at that roof. You can really tell the difference of the dark color there versus the light color here. I found myself doing like the back bend to hit the beam over here. I was like doing one of these. Mario's keeping a close eye on me.
Yeah.
That's a long ways down. I think we need to measure it. helps you.
Okay.
That's like 16 feet. It's a big bathroom. Tallest bathroom in Portugal? All right, we are both so happy the day is over.
Oh yeah.
Good job, dude. Look how good that looks, guys. You can tell the one piece over here, the pizza slice, that we still have to do. So we're gonna move the scaffolding one more time another day and get back up there and finish that piece as well as the centerpiece. I already know when I go to blow my nose tonight, it's gonna look like I was riding a dirt bike all afternoon. I won't show you guys that. This handwork is not an easy job. It's the only way, only tool that we can get in here by hand, either these blocks of sandpaper or folding up sandpaper and getting it into the nooks and crannies, into the center up here. All right, guys, what do you think of the top of that wooden ceiling here in our upper bathroom? Mario and I say our arms are tired and we'd like to be done sanding. You crushed it. It's getting warm up here in the top, but we're really proud of this job. We've been up here a total of like 3 full days, both of us together, wiggling and rocking on the top of this scaffolding. Like it's no joke. We feel like we should be in the ocean surfing. But look at it. It looks like a brand new installed wooden roof. So happy that we kept this, but that took a lot of effort, a lot of elbow grease, and we're ready to move on to something else. Any final words?
Thank you.
He's ready to be done. I'm ready to be done with this, but one day we'll be back up here, sealing it, putting some type of varnish to coat this wood. I'm also gonna have a carpenter come over and take a look at this edge and trim area and see what we can do as a solution for the final edging, because this definitely can't be left raw like this. So maybe we'll fill a piece of wood in here that comes up and closes everything in, makes it look super nice. All right, time to deconstruct.
Well, our little makeshift roof over top of our oven was slightly effective. I mean, it is all still very wet in here. Can even see a little bit of mold starting to form with all this moisture. But I'm thinking if we have a membrane put down or something, a membrane seems to be the thing along with an actual proper roof on top of our oven here. Sealing the stones from the outside, perhaps, at least in this section. We will find a solution eventually, at least before any permanent work happens down there. We will have a solution. But I want to come up here and share with you guys the final look of the turret that Drew and Mario have tirelessly been sanding away at. Wow. That was a huge job. I'm so grateful for them. The amount of energy and like neck pain, arm strength. I think it must have taken them 20 hours of sanding. It looks gorgeous. We might have to film this without the scaffolding in here.
Actually, we are not going to remove the scaffolding in the turret because we need to have carpenters come and take a look at the trim work that needs to happen up top. And if we take that down, there's no way they can get up there and get a close look at it. So we're going to leave that for that, plus the varnishing touch-ups we're going to do up there. So we're just going to leave it in that area.
But man, oh man, does it look nice.
It looks like a brand new wooden roof up there.
Good work.
Good work to Mario. Thank you, Mario, for your help.
Yeah, he's a rock star, truly. And a huge thanks to you guys for sticking around till the end of this episode. We got a lot more projects to come. There's little projects, big projects, ones that we can do, ones that we need our team to return to do.
Yeah, outdoor projects, indoor projects,
Yeah.
up high projects, down low projects.
Renovating a watermill and transforming it into our first home is not your typical average home renovation or home build.
Yeah, especially when you're in a foreign country and you're trying to get the grasp of the language, new materials to build with. Plus we have materials that were brought to this house from the Netherlands a long time ago, so we're doing a combo. Plus we have ideas from the States that we've seen in all of our travels around the world.
And we're trying to do it all as eco-friendly, like reuse, recycle, like be thoughtful and conscious of every single choice.
Conscious of our budget.
So for those of you wondering why it's taking so long, there are many reasons why, but actually we think that things are moving quite fast and amazingly, especially our neighbors tell us that like we've done so much work in 2 years, so that's reassuring.
And if we can tell you one thing that we've learned from being Mr. and Mrs. Adventure, it's not about the end destination. It's about the journey, the ups and downs along the road, along the path to get to the final destination.
Patience, persistence, positivity,
Determination.
and love.
Thank you guys. We all appreciate every one of you in our community.
Meaning all of us the kitties, we all love you.
Yeah. Ninu, Baby, and Tom.
Oh, and if you're looking for a fun summer episode, we're gonna drop one right up here of our Greece travels.
That's exactly what I was thinking right now. That's so funny you said that.
It's been on my mind. We loved Greece. We love Portugal. We love Europe in the summer. Love. Love. Okay, enjoy. Ciao. Adios.
Adios.
Au revoir.